have 8,000 vapes in my pocket. This is how you know.
I thought you were quitting.
Yeah, this is how you know when I get frustrated. I have more vapes.
Oh.
I am quitting. I read this great thing about I'll talk about this one. This will be easy on the show. Okay, the only thing to keep in mind, this is it. The topics never matter. All that we want to keep in our mind is, how is something woo?
I thought you were going to say, don't be a bitch.
You've got your crystals, you've got your army diet, you've got your silent meditation retreat, please be quiet. You've got your oil pulling bullet journal juicing cacao. Come sit and talk about it, nothing is a sacred cow. Tell us all about the whoa that you do.
Hey, welcome to the podcast That Woo You Do, the podcast that's about
woo-woo things.
Yeah, magical thinking.
Mystical stuff.
Hey, did you ever write yourself a check for $1 million so that one day you'd make $1 million?
Yeah, and then cash that check for no reason and put that money right back into the bank because it was your $1 million. And what are you going to do with $1 million in cash?
Because you already had the $1 million and you didn't need it.
Yeah,
you had the $1 million in soul dollars.
Yeah, or you had
you had $1 million in character,
or you had exactly $1 million and now you've overdrafted your account by cashing that check.
I'm so confused. Anyway, this is a show where we want to know what things that maybe you're embarrassed about that you do to make yourself feel better and that make you feel like the world is a magical place that supports you.
Yes, this is what we want to know. And actually, I need to figure out what, at the end of the show, I'll plug our email because I already forgot it again.
Cool.
So,
like, have you ever bought a crystal and then immediately forgot what the meaning is and then it just becomes a rock?
Yeah.
I do it maybe every other week.
Yeah.
In the moment, I'm like, oh, this is going to heal my, and then like 5 seconds later, I do not remember
5 seconds
what the purpose or meaning that is.
$32 later.
Yeah. I guess it's pretty. Let me create let me really focus. And I try. You have the real thing. We talked about that before. You have the real system.
I
you
sure
have a
do.
real crystal system.
In fact, so I'll note our email in a sec, but it's either that will you do podcast at gmail.com or that will you do at gmail.com.
Just try them both.
Just try them both. And maybe some weirdo will get your email confessing your woo-woo stuff.
I know somebody that is legit really into crystals. I've been to her house. She's lovely. I love her. And I still don't get I guess what I'm trying to say is I believe it works for her. But that sounds like condescending.
Yeah.
It works for you. That's really cute. I think that if you need that, it can give you a place to focus.
I agree. I think the intention is important, but the way you said it sounds like when you say, I love that for you.
I know. I don't know. I don't know how to not be a bitch. Well, the thing is, I'm just now learning how to be a bitch, like the true me.
Yeah.
Because it's a lifetime of people pleasing. And when you say, we all do it to a certain extent.
You call it being a bitch, but
it's merging what you mean and what you say. But I still have to learn how to say things. I thought I was being nice, and then as it came out of my mouth, I realized it sounded condescending.
Yeah, but also, the thought of it, I feel like I feel a bit condescending about it even
though you love it and you have a crystal system at home.
Yes.
And then when I'm talking to her, I've been to her house, it's filled with crystals. It's amazing. Like, it's amazing to be in her house. And then when I'm in her presence, I'm like I feel it, like I'll go there. Yes. But I guess that just makes me two-faced and a liar. So I'm like, oh, what does this one do? And then again, 5 minutes later, I'm like, fuck that and fuck everything while you're at it.
Do you walk in like a toddler? Like, what does this one do? What does this one do? What does this one do?
How does the magic work on this one again? But I think if you're somebody, like if I talk to her and she's in a bad way, I'm like, fucking start praying to your crystals and shit. If it works for you. And I think, I affirmations are like that to a certain extent, that they're like it's almost like a healing coping mechanism.
Yeah.
When you're neutral, if you're lucky, and then you're dipping below into a depression or a self-abusive or anger or any number of mental, emotional things, I think it can really help.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I can confidently play both sides of making fun of it and standing behind it.
Yeah.
Because I think it can help, because at the end of the day, it's all about what you're putting into something.
Exactly. What you're doing is you're introducing this reason to be positive. Is it because it's quartz or granite or a piece of shit sand that you picked off that's like, ooh, it's fossilized dino
It just made me
poo?
think of the cat box. Ooh, free crystals.
Look what I found, fresh from my cat.
It's disgusting. I
Yeah.
hate my cat so much. I hate my cat.
It is good though, and I do think affirmations and crystals are good, and we're gonna combine those two because we had our first. I put a little message out just to like the peeps to get our first kind of that will you do suggestions and stuff, and we got like a bunch of them, and I picked the shortest ones and also the ones that applied the most.
Okay.
But I told you this one already, and that was this one was from Ashley V. I'm gonna do like a last name single letter thing. Just put specifically if you want me to say your full name, but this will protect you in case we make fun of you a lot. Hi TWYD. She didn't.
How'd she find our email?
I put a message out.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed it for. Someone does all the work. Okay, Jeffrey, go on. Go on.
Oh, that's so funny. It says, hi,
It's
TWYD. I thought you should know that tonight is a blue moon and a super moon. So that's two different things, I guess. So it is the best time to put out your moon water. Excited for the show. 3 exclamation points, Ashley V. And
yeah. It's also a good time to give a urine sample to your gynecologist.
The moon will cleanse it.
Yes. To see if there's anything wrong. Out. It's a good time to check in with your vital fluids.
This urine tested positive for positivity. A lot of good vibes in your pee this year. Mm-hmm. So I either called you or texted you. I don't remember. But when I got this and I was like, hey, it's a blue moon and a super moon. And they're saying put out water in a jar and put an intention in it.
So we did it.
Don't let it touch the sunlight.
Oh, right. That was the thing.
Oh, no.
No, I did it. I did it. I just, I forgot already.
Yeah.
Because it was a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because podcasts are timeless.
They are timeless.
And you can make your own super moon or blue moon whenever you want to.
Yeah.
Just get a little food coloring.
Yeah.
And have a pee-pee.
Cut out a little.
I don't know.
So when I did that, without even thinking, I sent you, oh my God, this is an article. It says, will the ultra rare super blue moon bring you luck or lunacy? Astrology fans reveal tips on how to harness the power of the lunar phenomenon while avoiding its adverse effects.
This is my favorite. Thank you so much for that headline. I like that it's both things at once.
Yes.
You could have the best thing in your life or complete ruin.
Yeah.
Don't fuck this up. Don't fuck up this blue moon.
This is amazing. And that's
if you piss in your moon water.
Yeah.
Your demise is imminent.
Mm-hmm. You might get sick, and it's not because of the impurities in your pee. It's because of that moon.
See, that goes a little too far. Maybe that's why my shit doesn't work. I shouldn't say that. My life is a pure joy. I'm on top of the world. Let's be honest. Okay, so I didn't marry George Clooney. I that's not even my person. I'd pick Matthew McConaughey before I picked George Clooney.
Ooh, me too. I wanted someone who wants to do mushrooms in the
You know who
RV
I'd
in
pick
the
before
forest.
even what? Oh, I like that you went there.
Yeah,
you guys are like war paint.
Yeah,
and
I want
mushrooms.
somebody who like doesn't sometimes I would be embarrassed to be around them because it's like, yeah, he doesn't like to turn on the stove, and we use the wood fire out back, and we compost, and so it smells funny in here. Like, that sounds like a great guy. Oh, lovely.
Because the fumes from the compost came in that. I'm just catching up with your vivid imagery. I'm really going there. No, it's good. And then I lost my train of thought.
Okay, so on the blue moon.
Something super important. I was gonna pick Christian Bale as a celebrity boyfriend too.
Whoa, he's so
Is he an
indoors. I don't know if
I could go indoors. Oh, I could go indoors. I also like Cillian Murphy a lot.
Oh my God, who doesn't?
What a dreamboat
Absolutely.
that
every night I would
atomic bomb maker is.
Yeah, every night I would go to bed and I'd go, "What did you read today?" And he would tell me about what he read.
Oh God, tell me how literate you are. Yeah. Read me a poem. Oh, a friend of mine. I was listening to Hosier by accident. Hosier, Take Me to Church. How do you say it?
Oh, Hoosier.
Hosier.
Is it not Hoosier?
Yeah, look that shit up.
Oh no.
Hosier.
I wish
Take
my
Me to Church.
entire life had people in the background Googling it for me.
Okay, so she and I were back and forth about, she goes, oh my gosh, I'm a super fan of his. He used to read poetry in his Instagram. And then she sent me a link of him reading his poetry.
Is it so?
It's really good. I'm only laughing because it's so earnest. Like anytime someone's really earnest. It's so funny to me.
When someone's reading serious poetry.
Yeah, he's like,
the moon is
I don't know why it's making me laugh so hard, because he really was like, hey guys, like, you know how when the first time someone does a live, or you know what it is, it's also actors can be that way too.
Yeah. You're for real.
Where they're not used to having to address the internet, and they try to be cash, where they're like, hey guys, like they're waiting for them to come in the room or whatever. Like it's such a difference from people that are raised on the internet.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Or I love it when you see someone that's, I can't think of a good example right now, but I'm sure there's a ton. Someone that's at such a level, they don't even have social handles.
Yeah.
It's the best. And that's why it's making me laugh, because it is like he came down out of the tree and was like, hey guys, I've just been in my treehouse reading poetry. It's like,
okay, I can do tell me what you read, but
it's like Daniel Day-Lewis going and becoming a cobbler. It's the best. That's what makes me laugh. I'm just laughing at the notion that somebody that's so grounded and is like, I'm going to take my time for 30 minutes and read poetry. And it was a beautiful poem. His voice is beautiful. He's gorgeous. I was just like, I can't. Like after 2 minutes, I'm like, I'm out of here.
I can't do poetry. I can't. I love so many different art forms, but someone starts reading poetry and something in me goes, if there's not a joke in here, I can't handle this.
And I would say, because I don't know why I think it's like the poet laureate of Ireland, or I just made that up. This guy, Seamus Heaney, is like a very famous poet. Like you would like, it's that type of poetry where it's so good that you can't deny it. Yeah.
I wonder if I could deny it.
That's what I'm saying. You'd still be. Anyway, I feel like I just interrupted you 3 times.
I don't remember what we were talking about before anyways.
Because now we're just talking about hot guys reading poetry.
This is, I think, going to be a theme for us. It's just talking about...
Maybe we'll we're just reading. This podcast is just us reading poetry. Like if we can get there, then you know.
We can't. Oh, I can't. Air from another life and time. I can't. I can't. And place. Pale blue heavenly air is supporting. I wasn't far off from Blue Moon.
A white wing. I don't have my glasses on.
He's just naming things he's seeing.
Come on. This guy. Oh, thank you.
And yes,
this is such
it is a kite. Now he's like, oh, what was that? Is that a bird? No, it's a kite.
All right. This might not be his best.
This is why you don't need me around poetry, because I won't take it seriously. It's a big problem of mine. And that when people will say, hey, when we send you, because they'll send me writing stuff. As a writer, people will send us stuff to read. And if it's poetry, don't send it to me, please, because I will only see the humor in it and then try to punch it up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah, I can't do this meeting grief. No, I can't. I'm going to say something bad about the wonderful man of Hosier. Doogie Hoosier.
Quatrain by constrained quatrain. Meting grief and reason out, as you said a poem ought.
He's just picking out words from the SAT dictionary.
Trochi. Falling thus, grief and meter order us. Repetition is the rule. Spins on lines we learnt at school.
It's learned. Just kidding, correct.
Repetition too of cold in the poet.
Okay,
in the world.
we can't. We gotta. No.
Dublin Airport locked in frost. See, I like it when it's like, and then you're like, oh, some shit's going down. He's locked in an airport. Like it gets concrete for a second. Rigor mortis in your breast. Come on, I'm interested. Ice, no axe, or a book will break. Damn.
Oh,
I mean, that's some serious ice.
God,
Seamus.
no.
I think what we're missing here is if you had like a deep Irish brogue, it would sound dope.
Or if you were Hosier.
Yeah.
The curse of being a white lady.
I can't do it. How did we get here from Moonwater? I don't remember.
Yeah, I think you were about to talk about the Moonwater.
I don't remember.
Or we both were.
Here's what's going on. I don't care about the Moonwater at this moment because the Moonwater, it was wonderful. We talked into it and did our thing and drank it. And actually
You whispered into yours. And
Yes.
you had really cute mason jars.
Yeah.
And I could see the moonlight hitting. Mine was like 2 warm plastic bottles of Arrowhead water. And I wrote mine on a piece of paper and just taped it. And
I whispered into mine so sensually.
you did. You're like,
I had 2 different
You
ones
licked
too
it.
because I love that we both did 2 and we didn't know that. But I had 2 different things. One was about my career and then one was about this show. And I had one like, but I whispered into it very sensually.
And then we both brought it in at different times.
Mm-hmm.
I luckily brought mine in at like 3 a.m.
I remembered it about 12:30, so I don't know if I got the full moon effect, but I was too scared to
course
leave
you
it out in the
did.
sun.
Yeah, because then ruin happens.
Ruin, the opposite
If
happens.
the
and
sun
my
comes
life
up
is
on your
destroyed.
moon water,
Yeah.
fucked.
I put my rocks in one of them, and I hit wash them first because I was like, I don't know how many germs are on these rocks that I carry around.
Wow.
I washed them, and then I put some of my rocks in there, and then I drank it with the rocks in there, and then I put the rocks in my pocket.
Have you ever been a Wiccan?
No. God, no. I believe it in so many things, but as soon as someone says Wiccan, I go, ew.
Really?
Yeah, I don't know why. Just organize things. I don't want
Oh.
to follow rules.
Yeah.
I want to make my own. But one of the things I think we need to do is figure out what planet right now is in retrograde or whatever, because I had the worst day today coming to the podcast.
What the hell happened? What did they do to you?
So
I'm going to stab them.
it was
I'm in a
universe
stabbing mood.
stuff. It was universe
I'm going to
stuff.
stab the universe.
I
on your
go to
behalf.
leave and I can't get out of my garage because my garage clicker doesn't work. So I have to go search around for like 15 minutes, find the tiny screwdriver, take it apart.
Not the
Finally,
tiny screwdriver.
it
God
was
damn it.
Horrendous. I get out. I go to Porto's because we wanted to pick up cookies for our lovely production here. And I get there and I get our 2 matcha teas. I'm walking back. I trip. Just a stumble, which I'm like, ooh, only a stumble. I look down. It looks like a child or The Exorcist vomited all over,
Yes.
bright green on my shirt. So I'm wearing a different shirt than I originally was going to.
Oh, so you left really early and then you tripped and spilled and went home and changed.
And I get around the corner covered in what looks like baby vomit.
Fantastic.
I come around the corner and the parking enforcement is getting back into his car after giving me a parking ticket. And I'm
Were
like
you at a meter?
covered in, no, I was on this little side thing that I didn't realize.
And then
that
you met the love of your life. That's like the beginning of a romantic comedy where you're like, fuck it. And then somebody adorable is just
Yeah.
like watching you like,
Yeah.
I saw you get those
You'd think
matchas
that.
spilled on you.
I know, but that part didn't happen.
Oh.
So I'm convinced something's in retrograde right now. And I need to figure out when another blue moon or something's happening to fix this.
So does that mean all of our moon water things are trash now?
No, I just think that was temporary. It's like a one day.
Have you had manifestations things that you wish to come true? Or
The very next morning, I got a big booking.
From the Moonwater?
I
you
believe so.
did?
Yeah. The very next morning, I got a surprise email booking for, something that was...
Oh, and I had sex with that random person. Which is exactly what I had on my Moonwater.
I mean, I did call
fucking somebody
him.
different
Yeah.
every day.
I also did call him, and I arranged it, and then I showed up to meet him, and then we, so all of that stuff happened. But, oh my God. Yeah. So that was my morning this morning.
So do we believe in the Moonwater?
Yes, I do believe in the Moonwater.
Wow.
1,000%.
You do?
Yeah, because the next morning, literally, it must have been 30 minutes after I drank
Oh, right. Yeah.
my Moonwater, I
guess I didn't mean to negate it. I just thought, well, you were going to get that booking anyway.
No, I think what it is that we need to figure out what's going on with each planet every day so that nothing's ever our fault. So, like, what's going on today and then what's going on tomorrow? Is tomorrow going to be a better day? If not, I'll stay in. And then that's what we need to figure out. How can we blame everything on the universe?
Right.
So there's 7 planets in retrograde right now.
That's right now?
Yeah. How many?
Wait, what does retrograde mean?
I don't know.
Sounds bad. Sounds backwards. Sounds like in the past.
Yeah.
Retrograde.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what? That's probably what it is.
Can you retroactively grade my paper?
Yeah.
Sounds like my high school
Means your
English
life
essay.
is going backwards. It's not going in the right. Who's been Googling a ton of pumpkin pie stuff on here that all of the search results are pumpkin related?
That's me, yeah.
Is it you?
Is that you?
I was looking up a pumpkin pie recipe.
Did you make a pumpkin pie? You make
Yes,
a
I did.
pumpkin pie.
I made a pumpkin pie. It was pretty good.
Was it?
Yeah. It was good.
Did you put Cool Whip or
I used some heavy whipping cream.
you made your own?
Yeah.
You didn't make the actual pumpkin part.
No, I didn't grow the pumpkin, no.
But
but
did
I-
you make your own puree of the
didn't-
pumpkin, or did you buy puree?
I bought the puree, not the pumpkin pie filling, but I just got the puree
Great.
from the grocery store.
I have a fun thing to tell you about that. I went to the #1 culinary school in America at one point.
Okay.
I know.
You're so much better than all of
It's
us.
the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York.
Do you secretly think you're better than everyone?
Not
Or do you
even
think you've done so much stuff that it's like made you mellow?
I think I've done so much stuff that I think, who knows, tomorrow I might be a grocery clerk and doing comedy. Like, who knows? I think life's just a big adventure, and I vaguely know some things about a lot of things now. And that has served me really well. I really don't think you need to be an expert. I think knowing a lot of random things is great. And also, I learned way more about cooking than I did at the $30,000 I spent at this culinary school.
You learned way more where?
On YouTube.
Oh, really?
On YouTube. Oh my God, yes. It
How?
was so, yeah, because you can't retain it. Anyways, the whole point is, one thing we learned, we made every pie from scratch because I went for baking and patisserie arts. And I was going to be a chocolatier. Yeah.
That's in Bros. What's that movie with Billy Eichner?
Bros.
Yeah, bros.
Bros. The one of them wants to be a chocolatier,
That's what I went to school for.
and the other one's like, "You can do it.
Yeah.
Let your inner chocolatier out."
I loved it so much. But one of the things we learned, we made every single thing from scratch except for one thing, and that was pumpkin puree. When we made pumpkin pie, we used in a can, and the chef said, because they were all master chefs, they said the one ingredient that's never better if you do it from scratch is pumpkin puree. So buy it from a can.
Why is that?
Because it's exactly the same if you take the time to roast it and puree it yourself as if you get it from a can. So
It also takes forever
It sure
to
does.
like roast and puree pumpkin.
it sure does, and adds no additional stuff if you do it yourself.
Do you have to dry it out first?
You have to like,
No.
you have to clean it, peel it, chop it up, roast it. You got to chop it more up, roast it again.
It's like a
blend it,
6
food
hour
process.
process.
Yeah, it takes forever. Or it's $1.79 for
And
a
you go
50-ounce
like
can.
And then you've got the pumpkin puree. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, just
like
to
that.
make this anecdote ridiculous too, since I've already said it out loud now, I also lied my way into this school. It is like the #1 school.
How?
Only 17 people get into the baking and patisserie arts. And some poor soul did not get in. I had baked like one cake, and I lied my way into this school, by the way.
But on paper and in person? How many interviews did you have to do?
Yeah, we did one interview, but we had to have like reference letters. So I found a bakery where a guy had gone to this school, and I didn't graduate from there, so they can't take anything from me. I found a chef that had gone to this school, so I went and got a job there, and I said, will you write me a reference letter? If you do, I'll work here for a year. I worked there for a couple weeks, had him write the reference letter because he had gone to this school, so kind of got in kind of Nepo baby style, even though I wasn't. He sent the letter, then I quit, and the guy I was like, he can't be bothered to renege on it. And I got in, and I got there, and I was like, oh my God, I'm so out of my depth. Everybody had been working in the kitchen for years. Their parents had bakeries. Everybody was amazing. And I got in, and I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. Mm-hmm. So I studied really hard and ended up the top of my class.
Did they notice that you didn't know what you were doing?
No, because I was so scared of being found out that I didn't know anything, that I studied really hard. I ended up like the captain of my class and all these different things.
You were the captain of your class.
Yeah. It was a big deal out of only 17 people out of the nation that get into this
Is it a
school.
lot of math? Of measuring?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baking is mostly cooking science. And I don't know what it is now, but in 2017, this was 2008 or 2007 that I had gotten into this school, 2007. It was the Culinary Institute of America in Hyde Park, New York.
Did you bake a lot?
The
after
#1
that?
ranked culinary school. What?
That's insane. That's amazing.
It's like I lied my way into like cooking Harvard. I've never said this on a podcast before.
You're in so much trouble.
This is where I lived. It was amazing.
Oh, look at that picture of they're so chefy.
How great would it be if Jeffrey's face just showed up in this?
You actually would
stream.
Hey
see.
guys, high-fiving.
You would actually see Courtney's face because I was a girl at the time. I transitioned at this school.
At the school?
Yeah, they didn't know what to do about it because nobody had really heard of transgender people at this time. Like, it wasn't a common thing. So I was the first person to ever transition at their school. And I was a resident assistant. And
How long were you there total at the school?
About a year and a half. They didn't know what to do with me, and we had gendered bathrooms. So they turned one entire girls' bathroom into my bathroom. So I had like 5 showers and all these stalls, and I was the only one with a key. So I would charge people to use my bathroom.
Wow.
And everyone was pissed. An entire floor didn't get to use this bathroom unless they paid me money.
I can't imagine you acting like this.
I was angsty.
That's so diabolical.
I was angsty. Or you could be my friend. If you were my friend.
Well,
you could
I
use it
know,
all
and then
want.
hope you won't turn on me and then sell me the bathroom later.
Which I
You're like,
would.
oh, you're going to shit your pants? Oh, the price just went up. I'm sorry.
I was angsty. It was
I'll
a
sell you a
different
pair of
time.
pants after you messy them. Those are cheaper than the bathroom
I had
right
a whole
now.
racket in there. Here's the store for when you screw yourself up. Yeah, that was my...
That's diabolical.
Yeah, I was angsty at the time. I mean, clearly I lied my way into a school. Oh, boy. I promise I'm a good person, you guys.
Maybe that's why you're just a little bit more mellow now.
Oh, yeah, I can't
Because you
even...
did so much. Now
Yeah.
you're just a little bit like...
I can't even lie anymore.
You're still super energetic, but...
Yeah, I could never lie. I inconvenience myself way more than like I should and stuff like that. I'm like very mellow. But we found out later on in years that I was on 4
It's called
times.
CIA.
Yeah. I was on 4 times the amount of testosterone that I was supposed to be on. So I was an asshole.
At that time?
Yeah, we found.
Wait, when you transitioned,
we found this out 2 years ago, by the way.
You started taking testosterone right away?
Yeah, when I got there is when I was like, now I'm in New York. I can figure out how to transition.
And you didn't wait. You just went right into testosterone.
I was there for like a month or so. And then I went and found out how to get the testosterone in New York. And then I started it. And I was on so much testosterone. I was a raging asshole. I was like, everybody can suck it. Give me your money or you can't use
where
this
did
shitter.
You find out how to... Did you go to a doctor or you? And
there's a clinic in New York City that would allow you to do it in 2 weeks. You had to go to like 4 different appointments and you could get it done. And it's part of the reason I went to that culinary school is because in Texas you had to wait 2 years.
Oh,
and I was like, I'm not doing that. I'm going to lie my way into this school. And I did.
This is the most convoluted way to transition I've ever heard. Like, all right, I'm gonna trick this chef into writing me a letter of recommendation. I'm gonna work there for 2 weeks. I'm gonna quit. Then I'm gonna go to the Culinary Institute in New York. Once I'm there, I'm going to go to this clinic that only takes 2 weeks. I'll pay for the testosterone by taking over one of the bathrooms and charging people for access.
It's like if you put that in a movie, you'd be like, this is not believable. Whoever wrote this, like, that's ridiculous. Why would they'd be like, why would the character go out of their way to do all that?
Oh, yep, that was a moment of my life.
Now I'm imagining the chef trying to renege, and they're like, there is no Courtney here. Like,
yeah.
No longer exists.
I get. It sounds like you felt like you needed some big why, like a big, shiny.
Yeah.
Did your family and people back home didn't know that you were doing that?
I had told them that I was transgender when I was younger, but then I also told them I wasn't going to transition because it was too big of a thing to do. But then when I got there, that's when I was like, oh, I'm away from everyone I know. I can acquire this now, and my plan has worked perfectly.
So you didn't really fully decide until then?
I knew that, I knew that was what I was going
knew?
For, but I was kind of hoping to put it off, or maybe that I would
I see.
Not have to do it.
Mine is like the lame. My parallel is again. Yours is way more magnified with so much more going on. But when I was going to art school in Detroit, a friend of mine, she was going to San Francisco for the semester, and there was something inside of me. I was like, "You're doing that?" Like I didn't even know it was a thing. I was just like, I didn't know, and I just was like, I have to do this, and I talked myself into it. And I went with her for the semester, and I never came back.
It changed your life.
And looking back on it, a part of me knew I didn't want to be there, but I didn't think I was allowed to leave.
Yeah.
Because I was raised that you don't move away. And at that time, I was commuting from the suburbs to Detroit, just like 25 minutes to go to the art college there. And yeah, there was just a bigger part of me that knew, you got to get out of there. That was driving me, but I wasn't even consciously thinking that.
Yes.
But once they connected, I was consciously going, well, you get to do that for a semester. I want to do that for a semester, not realizing that it's so weird that like subconsciously it was like, yeah, this is your way out.
It's extremely similar because that's where you became a woman. Like not in gender, but that's where you became. That's where you became you.
My titties started growing. I started making chocolates. I went to the doctor. They felt my titties. And I'm like, is this all they're going to grow? And the doctor's like, yeah.
Yeah, even with hormones, this is all it's going to get.
Sorry. You might want to transition into a man with them A-cups.
But that's so beautiful. You took
That was so fucked up, that riff I just went on, by the way. Please don't take it out of context.
I think it's beautiful. And again, it's that thing that we don't realize in our subconscious is that you're putting together these pieces that allowed you to become really who you
I got
are.
engaged in Detroit.
You did?
Yeah.
Before you left?
Yeah. And then I broke up with them. But I remember being like, my movie line was like, I just think there's something bigger for me out there.
Oh, God, I love it.
And I really meant it. And I really felt it. And I just remember his mom was like so pissed at me. Obviously, he was too. But I couldn't go through it. I like to push things to the limit, you know?
Yeah, me too.
Like, let's just go until they blow up.
Yeah. And last minute decisions are so freeing.
Yeah, and he started it by asking me to marry him.
What? Why'd you get
guess my
divorced? He started it by marrying me. I would
Yeah.
have never gotten divorced had I not gotten married.
I was just gonna say, I think I'm like, I've been my whole life going after the like, normative man and woman.
Yeah.
Been trying to have that. It's just not working out. When will I learn? That's not gonna work out for you.
Yeah. I mean, I also am a fan of not learning, and I think that's why we've had so many adventures.
Of not learning?
Yeah, like don't keep yourself from making last minute weird decisions, because they're the greatest.
What do you mean not learning?
Like sometimes you're saying like, oh, I need to learn.
Like how to do things better.
Sometimes don't, because the adventure is so much better and the stories are better.
Yeah. Well, anyway, this has been a very special episode of That Woo You Do. I think what we've learned is follow your desire to make chocolate and you might transition.
Yeah. And if you feel like you can't do something, just lie about it. Maybe
yeah,
they'll let you
lying
in.
is clearly the best policy. Moonwater does work.
Sure does.
If you spill 2 matcha lattes, you will come back stronger than ever. Mm-hmm. That did not hold you back for a minute. You were still on time. You got 2 fresh lattes, apparently.
Sure did.
Thank you so much.
It was wonderful.
I mean, I would have liked the flavor of like a spilled one a little bit more. Like if you could have spilled it and put it back in the cup. I like my lattes spilled on the counter, on the cement, and then you sweep it up. The taste of you wringing it out of your shirt.
It's got fresh grass, which is good for allergens.
I need that.
All right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Please follow, like, and subscribe.
Yep. And you can email us.
And review.
Yes. You can email us at whatever our email
5 crystals.
is. I don't remember.
5 moonwaters. 5 moonwaters.
Ooh.
5 chocolates.
Yeah. 5 big old fat lies.
Give it to us.
We know that life is shit and we can all get so fed up with it. It may be weird, but hey, it works for you. Go on and pour some Kool-Aid for 2 and tell us what's the woo that you do.